Today, I am going over my favorite moments, my top four moments from the ALDS versus the Tigers. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mariners Daily. My name is Sam Edwards. I'm your host, the show for the Thinking Mariners fan. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode. I wanted to, clean the bad taste out of my mouth, from this postseason, from not getting to go to the World Series. So I thought the best way to do that was to go over my favorite moments from this postseason. And today, specifically, we're going over my favorite moments from the series versus the Tigers. And please, at the end of this episode, if I missed your favorite moment or you think is an underrated moment, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you think. Love to see what moments I missed because there were plenty of great moments in that Tigers series. And these are just my favorites. And this is not in order. This is not in order of my favorites of the best, but these are the four favorites. These are what I came up with. This is what I got. So let's get into it. First one, game two, the 3-2 win versus the Tigers versus Tarek Skubal. My moment is Polanco with the two home runs, and I wanted to deep dive a little bit into what make these home runs so special for me, especially the second at bat. But let's go through the first at bat. First one, he hit at 103.4 exit velocity. Ridiculous. Crushed it. Hit it 392 feet with a 22-degree launch angle, which is more than good enough. First, he took a changeup down for a ball, Polanco, and then took a dead center slider, 91 mile per hour slider. Nothing to scoff at. Let's be honest here. Nothing to scoff at. But dead center all the same, and Polanco took advantage of it and deposited it into left field. It was absolutely incredible. And yes, that one was incredible, but my gosh, was the second at bat even more incredible. Bottom of the sixth. This one, first, he takes a four seam up for a ball. Fantastic. Then four seam in the zone up. He fouls it off. 98 miles an hour. So props to Polanco. He was ready for it. Then next pitch is the tough one. The next pitch is usually the one that separates at bats, good at bats versus Scooble. Because once he gets a call, it's like you're screwed, man. What do you do? And Polanco showed so much poise in this at bat. The next pitch that I'm talking about was a four seam called strike down and outside. Borderline pitch. Maybe it touched the zone. It looked so on the edge. So I don't know. It made me mad, but whatever. It made me mad, but whatever. Next pitch is a changeup in the dirt. Good leave by Polanco. The changeup is absolutely nasty, no matter where it is, even if it is in the dirt. Next one is an even better is a better changeup, just below the zone. Polanco holds off, called for a ball. Fantastic. Works himself to a full count, Polanco. And like I said, after that called strike, that borderline pitch that should have been a ball, honestly, on that four seam, for me, I'm just throwing my hands up because at that point, he had been striking out the world. He had been dominating everybody except Polanco. But even with Polanco, I felt like he just got lucky with a hanger slider. And most of the time, Scooble does not make more than one mistake in a start, let alone a mistake that you can take advantage of. But finally, full count, he gets the sinker dead center, middle of the zone, and he hits it for a homer. It was absolutely incredible. He hit it 101.2 miles per hour for the exit velocity. He hit it 369 feet with a 31-degree launch angle on that sinker, middle in the zone. Fantastic. That's why Polanco is Polanco. And that's why one of the many reasons why he had such a great season with us. And I'm really hoping we can up his option and bring him back. Please. Please bring Polanco back. Not saying he's going to have the same season. And listen, we're going to cover a lot of offseason stuff over the next many weeks. The offseason is quite substantial. So I figured I'd start off with, let's reminisce a little bit, and we're going to reminisce on the season. We're going to reminisce on the ALCS, talk about my favorite moments then. And I would love to hear your favorite moments from that, but that'll come most likely tomorrow. But either way, my next two, and you know what? I forgot to. No, I didn't. We're good. Game three. Game three is my next one, and that's the Robles Mad Dash. He starts off the inning, Victor Robles, which was the third inning in this 8-4 win, probably our biggest scoring day of the postseason, really. 8-4 win, third inning. Robles leads off with a beautiful double off of Jack Flaherty on a hanging slider. Just pulls it right down the line. Absolutely beautiful. Next up is JP Crawford. He hits a bloop single into left field. Robles hung up a little bit because it did look like it was going to be caught. So he stops at third, and Green throws it in. And whoever was the cutoff man, I think it was McKinstry from second base. I think McKinstry was acting as the cutoff man in between Green and home, obviously. And he just ignores the throw. He does not look for it at all. It bounces right past him, and therefore gets right past their catcher, which then leaves Robles just just a smidge of an opportunity. Ball gets away. All you have is your reaction and your speed. And that's what Robles has, and he just takes off and runs for home. And it is a mad dash, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was so awesome to see. So fun. One of those just thrilling moments. It felt like he was trying to steal home. That's what it felt like. And I know it's not the same thing necessarily, and stealing home is harder for sure, but that's what it felt like, you know? It's that energy. It's that energy in the moment. And it was one of our first runs of the game as well. In the third inning, beginning of the game, errant throw just slips past the catcher, and boom, Robles is off. He's running. Boom, slides in right on the corner of the base. And the key with this slide, he goes feet first on this one, which I would have expected a head first just in general. But because it's a lot easier, I don't know. We'll get there. I'm not a professional in terms of sliding. I would say it's a lot easier to like target where you're going to touch the base and make sure that your body part, that sounds weird to say, but either your foot or your hand, it's easier to have your hand on the ground and make sure it's on the ground than your foot. The foot sometimes kicks up a little bit when you're sliding. Whatever. I'm just a nerd. But with this slide, it was beautiful. He went feet first, corner of the base, and kept the foot down, dragging on the ground to make it as clear as possible that he was safe. And it was such a close play. But the fact that he was keeping that foot on the ground all the way there secured it in my head that I knew for a fact he was safe. And they tried to challenge it, and it didn't work because of a beautiful slide from Victor Robles. Beautiful play. So fun. The reason we watch. Such a blast. So fun. The next one is possibly a little bit of a smaller moment. Not as pivotal for the game, I guess you could say. But I think equally beautiful. Cal Raleigh makes a absolute seed of a throw to second base to get Colt Keith out in game 5, top of the 4th inning. Top of the 4th gets a hit. Colt Keith, sorry. Colt Keith gets the hit. Did I say top 4th gets a hit? Oh no. I'm losing it, guys. I swear I'm losing it. Colt Keith gets a hit. Tries to steal second. Raleigh, and it looks like he's safe for a second there, man. But Raleigh makes a perfect throw. First off, his pop time, 1.89 seconds. Absolutely amazing. And a absolute cannon for an arm. Throws 82.8 miles an hour of a throw. Can absolutely nail Keith at second base. And it was also a beautiful, perfect tag by JP Crawford. He lets the ball come to him, which your instinct is obviously to go up and catch the ball and then tag him. But if because he doesn't do that and he lets the ball come to him, it gets there faster, and it is right on the freaking money. And it's just a genius move by Crawford to see that it was a perfect throw and to make that decision to back up the glove a little bit, let the ball come to him, and as soon as he catches the ball, the tag is on. The tag is on immediately. I swear. Go back and watch that play. It's absolutely fantastic, amazing, one of the best fielding plays we saw in this series, and just a beautiful moment for Raleigh. I wanted to give him his props, especially on defense. He caught so many freaking games this season, including the playoffs. He was consistently out there getting beat up every single day, leading our team, leading our pitchers, and throwing dudes out at second base. It was fantastic. Amazing throw. I love it, and I wanted to give it its due for this series. It's definitely one of my favorite moments. Definitely one of my favorite moments. Same game, game five. Obviously, I had to have two moments from this game because how could you not? And I could have a couple more as well. There's a couple other key moments for sure. But this one, what can be said about this moment that hasn't already been said? A rookie comes in for his first playoff appearance of his career, first playoff at bat of his career. First, let me give you the situation. First and second, first and second, bottom of the seventh. The air has gone out of the Mariners balloon. Kerry Carpenter hits a two-run homer off Gabe Spire to take the lead in the game. They are winning 2-1 now in a game that was just Scooble was nails and was game five, and you have to win. You have to win some way, somehow. Bottom of the seventh, they take Scooble out, and yeah, they it was already a righty on the mound. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm mistaken. It was already a righty on the mound. Then they take him out first, actually. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Canzone. They pitch hit Canzone first. I should have wrote this down in my notes better. They wrote down Canzone first. They pitch hit Canzone for Mitch Garver to face the righty pitcher. Then they bring in the lefty pitcher, Tyler Holton, to face Canzone, who's obviously much worse versus lefties. So then Mariners counter to bring in the rookie Leo Rivas for his first AB. They are down 2-1 in the bottom of the seventh. The air has gone out of the balloon, but there's a little bit of hope. There's two men on. Polanco's on second base. Rivas takes a cutter low and on the corner outside for a called strike. And then he takes a changeup right at that same spot and lines it into left field to score Polanco. Hit it very well, 97.7 miles an hour to score Polanco and to tie the game. I know I could have gone with Polanco's single. I could have gone with a couple pitching moments in extra innings for this game for my second moment. But what an amazing play from Leo Rivas to have a quality at bat and to single in the tying run, which was so important. We were not going to score again in this game. I mean, if it's not clear by this game going 15 innings, we weren't going to score before this game ended. We would have lost and we would not have gone on to face the Blue Jays. We would not have had all of the great moments that we had versus the Blue Jays, We wouldn't have had that extra baseball. So shout out to Leo Rivas. Amazing hit, amazing moment. A rookie coming through, and it's such a huge moment for his team. I love to see it. And just a beautiful hit overall. Beautiful. Guys, thank you so much. Once again, if you have a moment that I missed, that I did not mention, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of these moments. Which one's your favorite out of these moments? I don't know what I would say. I think I would probably say Polanco's homers versus Scooble. Those were just felt so monumental, so huge, so amazing. So that's what I would probably go with. But either way, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you back tomorrow on Mariners Daily. Thank you so much. Have a good one.